Hi there, ladies. Aggie here. So today I want to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is intuition. I want to talk about how intuition can change our lives, how intuition and being connected to our heart and soul and making decisions from that place can truly become the single most important guidance system in how we walk through this life, how we create our lives. Because at the end of the day, I truly deeply believe that this is our creative energy. And I have spent the last, I would say, 20 years, 2 decades of my life trying to figure out what intuition is, trying to understand how intuition works, and just figure out how I can connect, how I can become better at living an intuitive lifestyle. So what I'm doing throughout the programs that I am creating is simply trying to pass down that knowledge that I have collected over the years. And in this particular video, I want to talk about what intuition is and how intuition can truly transform your life. Now, for that to be, I guess, clear, and for the message to really truly hit, I want to show some practical examples on how my intuition communicates, how intuition communicates, what intuition actually is, and what place it has in the decision-making process. So I also want to mention that next to intuition, it does not mean that logic doesn't have its place. Logic is actually extremely important in my viewpoint. Logic is something that comes immediately after the intuitive message hits. So for example, I just want to give an example. Let's say you envision a house. Let's say you have a vision of, like, this is the house I want. I want a house like this. I want to build a house like this. My intuition is telling me that this is what is calling my soul. Let's say you're at a place where you're about to build a house and your soul is calling you and your soul is saying, this is the vision of the house. The house should be, I don't know, white, it should be shaped like this, whatever. The vision is there. That's your intuition that's giving you an image. And actually, next to the image, very important, intuition actually is the mechanism in your body that creates the feeling around the image. This is how we know that it's our soul calling us towards an image, a vision, because we could have a million different visions, and you know, I'm sure everybody knows this. You could have visions of bad things happening, you could have fears coming up, you could have a morbid image coming up in your mind. Intuition tells you what the actual direction of your soul is, what images you should actually be paying attention to, and those images will feel good. Those images that your intuition is calling you towards, your intuition is telling you, this is elated, this feels good, this feels like it's true to my heart and my soul. It's a feeling of enlightenment inside of me when I see this image. It feels good. That is the image that your intuition is calling you towards, that aligns with your soul and your heart. So look at intuition as the messenger of the, I guess I could say, the feelings, the body sensations that come up in relation to an image that shows you that this is the right direction. And look at intuition that signals you when you constrict and when you don't feel good in regards to an image, and you know, this is not the direction I'm heading into, this is not what I want. So intuition is almost like the messenger, and perhaps I'm going to come up with a better word for this, but it's what shows you whether it's right or wrong. And when you go within and you meditate on an image and an image comes up and you see the image and you feel like your intuition is showing you, this is it, this is the direction, this is the house, this is what the house looks like. Right after that, logic actually comes into play, and logic will tell you that, okay, now that we have this vision of the house, now that I know that the house has to be white, it has to have this kind of roof, you know, this is the look that I want, this is the amenities I want around the house. Now logic comes in and you have to actually put all of that together. Now you have to execute that vision. And logic has a 100%, million percent role in here for you to have the ability to actually achieve that vision in a correct way. So logic comes in all of a sudden. You go online, you look at all the different types of wood, the different types of bricks, cement, whatever it is. You using your logic to accomplish the vision that your intuition has given you. And it doesn't mean that you don't go back and communicate with your intuition regularly about visions and what it is that is right or wrong for you. However, this is where also logic will come in, and this is where you're gonna do your research. All that stuff is logical. So intuition and logic kind of work hand in hand together in how I see it. And I want to give you one example from what I'm currently working on. Out of several things, I'm working on several things with my intuition. However, one of the things that I'm currently working on is trying to change my diet, because recently I have realized that my diet kind of got out of hand. I also gained some weight back that really frustrated me over the holidays. And I decided that I need to get back on track with the foods that I'm eating, that I'm not being impulsive. I'm not just eating whatever, is in front of me and whatever I'm craving or what I love, but truly find the things that will bring the nourishment to my body that my body truly is asking for. And that's something that, can truly deeply be accessed with connecting to your intuition. So what I did, and I've done this actually quite some time ago, I have quite a few cookbooks. I probably have around 15 cookbooks, and every single cookbook has images to every single meal. And I have cookbooks across different cuisines. And the way I use these cookbooks, and I'm actually teaching my son to do the same thing, he's still small, so not really getting it yet, but I'm going to teach him, is by using your intuition, looking at images and looking at how that image is making your body feel. How is your intuition signaling to you in regards of that image? And I'm going to show you a book now that has the type of foods that right now my intuition is truly calling me to experience and nourish myself with. I'm going to show some pictures from this cookbook. Okay, this is one example, and I honestly, everything in this cookbook makes me feel really great. This is, I think, pork with some salad. This is also, vegetables and meat. And when I look at these images, the key thing is, again, vegetables with meat. This is a cookbook that's actually extremely simple. This cookbook has maybe 4, 5, 6 ingredients to every single meal. And this is a cookbook, by the way, if you would like to know. Whole 30, fast and easy. So this is a very simple, basic cookbook with only whole food ingredients. When I look at these foods, I feel a sense of elation, a sense of almost like enlightenment. I feel a sense of like, this is going to take me to that feeling of I am walking on clouds. This is what's going to nourish my body to feeling like I'm just elevated. I'm feeling good. I'm walking on air. I can feel it in my body. When I look at these images, it makes me feel like I am going in the direction of feeling this way if I eat these foods in here, okay? And I'm going to show you another cookbook that also has images, which honestly, the presentations in this cookbook are spectacular. One of the most beautiful cookbooks I've ever seen. I think these are some of the best cookbooks, actually. However, when I look at the images in this cookbook, I am not feeling the elation, okay? They have beautiful images of foods. Really beautiful presentations. All the foods in here look truly amazing, but I'm not feeling the same way. I almost feel weighed down, okay? Even though the images are beautiful, it's almost like my body feels weighed down when I try to feel into how this is gonna feel. It almost feels like I'm stuck in the same place. It almost feels like I'm not going anywhere. It feels like a sense of stuckness. And so my intuition is communicating me, this is, if I keep doing this, if I cook from, if I eat these kinds of foods, I'm going to experience those feelings. So the intuition is kind of projecting to you what a direction is going to feel like. So obviously, you know, my strategy here will be to follow this cookbook because my intuition has been signaling, if I do this, I'm going to get closer to those feelings. And this is how intuition works. And you can apply this to any area of life, okay? This is not just diet. This is why we do the intuitive home challenges, the intuitive organizing challenges, because you can apply this to any area of life, making decisions intuitively and then using your knowledge, using your logic, researching, learning more to actually accomplish those visions, making those visions a reality. Okay, so this is my example for today on how intuition communicates. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will be making many more videos, so please subscribe and come back to me for more. And if you have questions, I'm here to answer, so please ask your questions and join the Intuitive Home and Intuitive Organizing Challenge online on our Facebook group. I'm going to include the link at the description of this video. Okay, take care. I'll see you in the next video.